Good afternoon, friends, and thank you very much for being here this afternoon. I'd especially like to welcome our friends from Chhattisgarh who are here for a training course at the Indian Institute of Mass Communication to be present here. This is the usual process when they learn from all of you. So I hope all of you will be at your brilliant best so that they can learn some good practices. That said, what I will do is, as usual, I will make some introductory remarks on the current security situation regarding Indian nationals in Iraq, following which the floor is open for any questions that you may want to ask on that topic or on any other topic that you may be interested in. So I will begin our first and primary issue for being here, and that's the security situation of Indian nationals in Iraq. By our estimation, the facilitation phase is now gathered pace. We have provided tickets to approximately 530 Indian nationals. Their seats have been booked on commercial flights. In addition, we are processing the documentation of another 850 others. In terms of passports being processed in different locations in Iraq, the largest number are from Najaf. Currently, there are 350 passports that are being processed for Indian nationals from Najaf, 290 from Karbala, 190 from Basra, and the remaining a little bit from Baghdad also. Baghdad, there is no backlog because we have an embassy there, so all the work that is there is up to date. Seats continue to be available on commercial flights, so we are making use of commercial flights to fly back Indian nationals to their nearest international airports. As regards destinations in India, for those of you who may be interested, most Indian nationals that we have booked tickets for are traveling to New Delhi. That is because that is the nearest international airport. Just for sake of your understanding, approximately 290 Indian nationals have chosen New Delhi as the destination for their return to India. In terms of numbers, the second largest is Hyderabad with approximately 100. The rest are very small. There is Mumbai for about 16, Trivandrum 7, Kolkata 5, Bangalore 2, and Chennai 2. In many cases, there are immigration-related problems. So after the documentation is ready, we are working with the Iraqi immigration authorities. These problems are due to overstay of workers, lack of documentation. Some of them do not have documentation indicating when they came to Iraq, why they came, through what route, etc. These matters relating also to overstay, illegal entry, and such other issues relating to migration. In some cases, they are required to pay fees or fines for these issues, and we are using the facilities available through the Indian Community Welfare Fund to pay for those fines, which are of minor nature or may also be, in some cases, a little bit more than that. In terms of what we are noticing on the ground is that many of them are wavering. Some of them at some stage have indicated that they would like to return, but at a later stage, after a few hours or the next day, they seem to change their minds. And this is normal in such situations. It's normal that people may be caught in two minds. The reverse is also possible. There have been instances where when we asked some Indian nationals, they indicated that they were not inclined to leave, but then Subsequently, they have come and requested that their bookings be done. So, in summary, while the work is moving at a rapid pace, there are issues that are being tackled, and these are issues of a normal nature that we expect in such efforts. But we have cause to feel satisfied that the facilitation phase is now progressing extremely satisfactory. Just one little point, lest you hear it from somewhere else. Today there is a curfew in Karbala. This is not on account of any threat from outside, but there was some religious strife between between a Shia cleric supporters and the police, and therefore curfew has been clamped there, so it has impeded work relating to obtaining documentation and providing them this documentation. I think I will stop there, and if any of you have any questions, I am willing to answer them. So we will start with questions relating to Iraq, and if you have any further questions on other things, then we will take it then. So first, questions relating to Iraq. Yes, Nilova?
This caliphate, the ISIS having sort of declared this caliphate and this Islamic state in this particular area, what exactly, if any, is the government of India's reaction to this declaration or proclamation, and what does it mean in real terms?
I think the government of India has made its position quite clear that we stand for the unity and territorial integrity of Iraq. And therefore, we would support all efforts that are underway right now to ensure that a new government takes over in Iraq through a process which is democratic and is being worked out among the parties there. Yes, sir. Rajiv?
Akbar, Amnesty International today issued a press release a little while back saying that 46 Indian nurses who were trapped there in Tikrit, they are now being guarded by gunmen from ISIS. Would you say that, and the press release also says that the Iraqi authorities who used to come to them and contact them, they are no longer coming. So would you say that this is a hostage kind of a situation, and how do you react to the fact that ISIS has included India as one of the target countries of its jihad?
Rajiv, I only answer one question.
This is one.
You can choose which question you want, please.
Whichever, but then this
Fine.
is one.
I will answer one. If that is the way you would like to proceed, you've been a very seasoned journalist here. You always know that I answer one. And I will answer the question that you have talked about in terms of the situation of the nurses. As far as the nurses are concerned, let me confirm that just before I came here, our ambassador did talk to them. They remain unharmed and safe. I do not want to get into what other people are putting out based on what their information is, but I can confirm to you, based on what our ambassador has done, he has talked to them, they remain safe, they remain unharmed. Anyone else? On Ranjit? On anything else? No, first of all, are there anybody else on Iraq? And then we'll go to anything else. Okay. On Iraq? Yes. Vishal?
Sir, actually the same question which the caliphate, they've said they've mentioned India as one of the targets for global jihad. So do you have a response to this call for jihad against India?
Vishal, I haven't seen what you are saying about, but let me assure you that India's safety and security is in safe hands. Anyone else? Yes.
Sir, would you like to share any kind of progress related to 39 Indian who are captive?
If I would have, I would certainly share with you. I have told you that once we have updates on these things, we will share with you. At this stage, I have nothing further to say except what I had said previously. Well, on anything else? Yes, Anchal?
Sir, in the External Affairs and Senator John McCain meeting today, was the spying issue taken up, that there were reports that NSA spied on the BJP?
Governments, Anchal, talk to governments. Senator McCain is a respected leader of the Senate. He is an important American political leader. We have, as governments, already communicated to the government of the United States. And we have said that we have seen reports in the US media regarding authorization given to entities of the US government to intrude upon the privacy of communications of the Indian government, its citizens, and Indian entities. Now, we have also asked the US government if such intrusions have indeed been authorized and have taken place. And our view is, should this have happened, these are highly objectionable. As has been the case in the past 1 year, in response to similar disclosures of surveillance of Indian government entities previously, our concerns have been expressed clearly to senior officials of the US Embassy here. In doing so, we have also sought an explanation of information contained in these press reports and an assurance that such authorizations will not be acted upon by the US government entities as far as Indian citizens, entities, and the government of India is concerned. Yes, sir.
I have a question related to Indians jailed in Saudi Arabia.
Let's go one by one and we will finish that. Anybody else on? Yes, Andrew.
Could you tell us what the response of the US government was to today's meeting and also from previous times when you brought this up?
Well, they did acknowledge that they have yet to respond to us. They noted that they are working in terms of the sort of information that they would like to share with us, and they have said that they will get back to us once they make a judgment of what sort of information that they would require to share with us in terms of the questions that we've asked previously and now. Srinjoy?
Sir, you said US Embassy officials here. Can you tell us who was spoken with and who did the talking on our side and when it actually happened?
Srinjoy, it's important to convey the message. The messenger is not important. The message was conveyed this morning, early in the morning, in the forenoon. If you would like to know the time, 10 a.m. Yes, Ranjit? Just wait. Please take the mic. Yeah.
Have you received any assurance from the American administration that this will not be done in future?
I mentioned to you that the message was conveyed this morning at around 10 a.m. What we were told was that they will revert to us. And we did not expect an immediate response in any case. This is a message that we communicated clearly, lucidly to the US government this morning, and we will await for their response. Yes, Dr. Akhilesh Suman.
So even though Senator McCain is not a government official from US, but he met many leaders here. So can he just get a takeaway? What is the talk and what is the purpose of his visit?
Well, during his meeting with the External Affairs Minister, they did discuss bilateral relations between India and US. As you are aware, Senator McCain is a great supporter of enhanced cooperation between India and US. Recently, he did make a statement on the floor of the Senate supporting greater cooperation with India. So there was a discussion on how we should take forward our bilateral relations. Also, Senator McCain is very active on issues relating to US troop deployments, etc., abroad. For example, he is a former soldier, so he is a security-related specialist in terms of his broad areas of specialization. So we did discuss the situation in Afghanistan as well as the situation in Iraq. I think that broadly covers it. Bilateral relations, situation in Iraq, and situation in Afghanistan. Yes, sir.
So this report about NSA, do you think this will affect U.S.-India relation, in the future?
I think India and USA have a multifaceted relationship. There are areas where we work together, and as good friends, we communicate with each other. This is a place where we have communicated a message to them. Let us wait for the outcome of that message. However, our relationship is broad-based, multifaceted, and both India and the US are committed to deepening it and strengthening it. If there are, pardon? Other issues, yes. Dilip? Gautam, sorry.
Sir, I believe that the International Tribunal at Hague had postponed the judgment on the maritime boundary dispute between India and Bangladesh. Do you have any information regarding when this is likely to be pronounced, the judgment?
Within 1 week from today. Within. Yes, sir.
सऊदी अरब की जेल में 40 इंडियंस 1 साल से बंद हैं। वो नेस्मा एंड पार्टनर्स कंपनी के लिए काम करते थे और कुछ मुआवजे का मसला है। स्टेटस क्या है उस केस का और अपना मिशन वहां पे उनको छुड़ाने के लिए क्या कर रहा है?
These are the Indian nationals who are in Makkah. Yes. You're right. Some time ago, there were Indian nationals who were in Makkah who were jailed for destruction of property as well as rioting in Makkah against their employer. Saudi Arabia has fairly tough regulations against such acts. What was decided on was that they would get a certain length of punishment. However, their employer had then appealed that apart from the punishment, he should also be entitled to compensation for the destruction of his property. So while they have completed the term in terms of their jail sentence, there are issues related to compensation that the employer had asked them. Now, as far as the mission is concerned, we are trying to work with the employer to try and see if he is willing to waive this requirement. So at this stage, the matter remains sub judice. The employer remains adamant, and we in the mission are trying to see if we can try and get him to waive the condition that that compensation should be paid to him for the destruction and havoc caused to his establishment. Yes, sir. Mr. Bawa.
So the United Nations Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women is currently underway. What exactly is the message that India is getting across? We believe that some concerns have been raised about political people making remarks against women and marital rape. Such issues have come up?
I think we are still in the phase of where statements are being made. Our statement has just been made about an hour ago. That's available on our website, and I would suggest that you have a look at it. We are still some way further down in terms of discussions on these issues, because what happens usually is the plenary starts, people make statements, and then we move to the next step. So we'll keep you informed should you like to follow this up later on. But at this stage, there are plenary statements being made, and the Indian statement was made a few hours ago. It's available for all of you to have a look. It's available on the website of the ministry. If you have no further questions, I think we will call it a day. Thank you very much.